When pricing, there's no math formula to get the best price for our products. If we decide on the price, some might suggest another price with reasonable arguments, right? Then, why do we learn pricing in marketing? Options. To understand what the experts did, so we won't repeat the same mistakes. And finally, to find the way that works best for our business. Because every business has a different SWOT analysis or circumstances. And so, let's get into it. How to price by a demon. To make our discussion about pricing more applicable, let's take an example. Selling bathwater. We will talk about a lot of things, so feel free to only go to the sections that interest you most, and see the conclusion. Now, let's start. Section 1. Psychological pricing. You have a bottle of bathwater that you want to sell to the men of culture. But what is the price? Here are some psychological pricing tactics. First, price anchoring. You can tell your audience that an Instagram star sold it for $30 a bottle. And then, you sell yours only for $10 a bottle? Cheap, right? Yes, the first price we ever know becomes the standard price, although $30 a bottle is surely questionable. Second, artificial time constraints. Tell them you only sell bathwater for $10 a bottle right now, or only on your birthday. Triggering the sense of urgency does work. Third, price appearance. $10 and $10.00, which sounds better, the short one. So the visual or auditory representation of price is really important. Sometimes the prices ending in 9 are even better. Like $9.99. Fourth, price gouging. Oh no, there's a flood. So you raise the price of clean bathwater to $20 a bottle. Price gouging is taking advantage of an emergency. But keep in mind that sometimes it's illegal. So in this section, what did we get? We should sell our bathwater at $10 to $20 a bottle. The 4 psychological pricing tactics. Price anchoring, artificial time constraints, price appearance, and price gouging. Section 2. The 5 critical Cs of pricing. If we sell bathwater in Indonesia, what is the best price? The price that maximizes profit for a business and provides the optimal value to the buyer. The 5 critical Cs of pricing can help us get the best price. The first C is cost. Profit is total revenue minus total costs. So at the very least, its total costs must be covered by the price. To sell bathwater, we need water. Let's say our water bill is $9.50 per month. This is the fixed cost of our business. And then, we need a bottle. We don't have a bottle factory, so we use a bottle instead. Let's say it's 25 cents a bottle, and we want to sell just 1 bottle of bathwater. Assuming we want 10% profit, then what is the best price? It's $11. For now. However, if we want to sell a box of 24 bottles, our cost increases. The number of bottles is the variable cost. The second C is customers. What is the price of a bathwater bottle that customers expect and are willing to pay? We know an Instagram star successfully sold her bathwater at $30 a bottle. There you go. $11 is already cheap. But if you want to use the prestige pricing tactic, then $50 is perhaps doable. Third, channels of distribution. Obviously, we need someone or a business to distribute the bathwater. If we sell it on for example, we probably have to pay a maximum 10% of our revenue to the platform, so we won't get any profit if we sell it at $11. Therefore, the best price is now $12. The fourth C is competition. Buyers tend to compare a product with its alternatives. For example, the $30 bathwater of that Instagram star, or maybe just a bottle of mineral water. We don't have to ponder and guess about this if our bathwater is competitive enough. Fifth, Compatibility. Is the price compatible with our customers' purchasing power? No. Then sell it at $3. Is it compatible with our brand? If we are famous enough? Then, $12 is probably cheap and incompatible with our exotic brand. So in this section, what did we get? The 5 Cs. Cost, customers, channels of distribution, competition, and compatibility. The best price of our bathwater is $12 a bottle, but it can be $3 or $50, depending on some C. Section 3. The 5-step procedure. We already know the 5 Cs of pricing and some psychological pricing tactics. But is there a step-by-step or SOP to establish a price, so we won't miss a single factor? Yes, there is. It's called the 5-step procedure for establishing pricing policy. The first step is to set the pricing objectives. There are many objectives, and we can pick more than one. If the goal is clear, then it's easier to choose the best pricing tactics, isn't it? For example, a competition objective, so we will sell just below the price of the most popular products to compete. That Instagram star sold her bathwater at $30 a bottle. So, we should sell ours for only $29 a bottle. Second, estimate demand. Demand refers to the buyer's desire and willingness to purchase a product or service. So we can say demand is the purchased quantities. Obviously, we should estimate it. If the demand for bathwater is around $12 a bottle, then $29 is highly risky. To estimate demand, we can use the demand curve. The higher the price, the lower the demand becomes, if the other factors are consistent. So, we shouldn't expect to sell many bathwater bottles if the price is high and other factors don't exist. We can also estimate it by thinking of demand elasticity. The gasoline demand is relatively inelastic because we demand it every time. We still buy it even when its price becomes higher, right? But if there is a substitute, for example, palm oil or biofuel, the gasoline demand can be lower. Yes, several factors affect demand elasticity, including the availability of substitutes. Third, estimate costs. How? We already did it previously. So next. Fourth, analyze the external environment, which is anything outside our factory or organization, including competitors and channels of distribution. How? We can do a PESTLE analysis, but only related to pricing. Let's take one example. Analyzing economic factors related to pricing. In Indonesia, does it make sense that people can buy a bottle of bathwater for $29? When the promise of 19 million job vacancies isn't yet? Fifth, select pricing strategies or tactics. Price skimming, bundle pricing, many options. And so, we should explore it in the next section. So in this section, what did we get? The 5-step procedure for establishing pricing policy. Setting the pricing objectives, estimating demand by price and elasticity, estimating costs, analyzing the external environment PESTLE analysis, and choosing pricing strategies or tactics. After we did the procedure, the best price in Indonesia for our bathwater is still $12 a bottle. Section 4, pricing a new product. 3 pricing strategies for a new product. We never sold a bathwater before, so it's a new product for our company. Therefore, our pricing strategies should cover the research and development costs quickly. Otherwise, it looks like we just waste money or ignore debts. First, price skimming. Selling our bathwater at a very high price, and then gradually lowering the price every year or so. Because there are probably rich people willing to pay the highest price possible. But if there's none, then we can just lower the price. Second, market penetration pricing. We just sell the bathwater at the lowest possible price, so we can penetrate the market or gain as many customers as possible. In other words, we give them the taste of our product, and then we take it away with a higher price later. Isn't that right? Third, break-even pricing. With this strategy, we want to reach the break-even point, at least the point at which we sell enough bathwater to cover our costs. So when the profit is 0. With this formula, we can find how many bathwater bottles we should sell to cover our costs. For example, if we use these numbers, we only need to sell 4 bottles. So we can be happy and make a profit if we have already sold 5 bottles. So in this section, what did we get? The 3 pricing strategies for a new product: price skimming, market penetration pricing, and break-even pricing. Also, I haven't said that if price skimming gains profit from a few sales, then penetration pricing makes profit from a large number of customers. In other words, the nobles versus the people's power. Section 5, Pricing. Existing products. For pricing strategies and tactics for existing products. First, product line pricing. We can sell bathwater with our autograph and sell it at a high price, aside from our ordinary bathwater. By the way, a product line is a group of similar products with different features and pricing. So it's a strategy to make more money with a very small tweak to our existing product. Second, bundle pricing. So we have a bathwater product, then why don't we sell a soap too? Don't you think it's better to buy both products rather than only bathwater? It's just a little expensive anyway. Bundle pricing tempts customers to spend more by bundling our product with another. And yes, it works. Third, psychological pricing. Well, we already discussed this strategy in another section, so next. Fourth, economy pricing. In a certain country, you might see a tissue pack with a store brand. It's cheaper than the tissue packs from the name brand competitors, although the quality might be the same. But since it's a store brand, we don't need to pay for advertising, so that's why it can be cheaper. So yes, let's just make a bunch of cheaper alternatives. So in this section, what did we get? The 4 pricing strategies or tactics for existing products. Product line pricing, bundle pricing, psychological pricing, and economy pricing. Also, it's totally okay if we try to be creative. Of course, we might realize a new pricing strategy or tactic, and so we experiment. Section 6, Ethical Considerations in Pricing. When pricing, why do businesses care about ethics? The ideas of right and wrong behaviors. It's to avoid legal consequences and to keep the customer's trust, and so, loyalty. And of course, simply to do good. So, what are the unethical practices when pricing? First, price discrimination. We charge customers based on what we think they might agree to. This often happens in tourist destinations, when we charge more to overseas people. Though, as long as it's reasonable, there won't be a problem. So, this is a kind of gray area. Second, deceptive price advertising. Does any business still charge a different price from what's advertised? I hope not, because they can be sued by the FTC, at least in the United States. Third, predatory pricing. Sometimes a business offers a product at a very low price, so others can't compete, and thus go bankrupt. And then, the business might increase the price exponentially to recoup losses. This might sound far-fetched, but it does happen sometimes. Fourth, monopoly. Gouging. If there are no or very few substitute products, a business might charge a very high price. Sadly, this tactic does work. But, fortunately, things such as electricity and gasoline are usually regulated by the government. So it can be cheap and prevent the worst. But what if our government raises the prices? Well, we are doomed then. So in this section, what did we get? The 4 unethical pricing practices. Price discrimination, deceptive price advertising, predatory pricing, and monopoly gouging. Sometimes, ethical pricing attracts customers. So, I think it's easier to do good. Right? The conclusion. Okay, so we have 6 sections about pricing. Then, how to put them into practice. I'd recommend thinking about the 5 critical CS of pricing first. Then, after you get the best price, you just need to consider other factors to review your price. By doing the SOP, to establish a price, and questioning whether our pricing is ethical. So there are only 3 big steps: 5 CS, SOP, and ethics. Also, what is price? It might be obvious, but let's see. Price is something valuable in an exchange between a seller and a buyer. It doesn't have to be money, but it can be a vote, engagement, etc. Phew. I guess that's all we need to discuss about pricing. Feel free to comment and to drop your experiences or thoughts about pricing. And please, be respectful. Also, remember that pricing is not the only factor that affects our sales. There are 4 P's, including pricing. So see you on the next video.